I missed you. How you doing? It's good to be back in the saddle. Great to be back with Daily Distinction. We had a fantastic time. You know, when I was leaving here, when we did the last program, I was saying I'd be back in a week, and it turned into 2. But we still had a good time, and I'm out of points. I have no points for anything anymore. My Marriott points are gone. My Hyatt points are gone. The Hilton hotels were closed, so I still got some Hilton points, but my Delta miles are gone. My United miles are gone. Gone. But we had the least expensive Hawaii vacation you can imagine, which still isn't free because the food over there, if you've been there, you know. But man, we had a great time, but it is so great to be back. It is so great to be here. Darcy, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you are so kind. Thank you. Hey, Donovan, good to see you. Yes, good to be back on the mainland. Brian, here we go. We're going to roll. And Jason Bradshaw, I was just thinking about you, my friend. So I was telling Jason in a text that there was a particular product that I was supposed to get yesterday, and I got a note from United Parcel Service that it had been delayed. And I'm like, oh, no, I've been spent all day waiting on this delivery. And literally 2 minutes, I'm just about to hit the button. The doorbell rang, and I ran downstairs. And let's see if I can shift over here and show you this. The new iPhone is in, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I have the new iPhone, and it is syncing right now. So I got the new. Now, the one on the right is the 11 Max, Pro Max. And the one on the left is the new one. And look, it's big. I mean, Jason, you were so right. My gosh, this thing is big and heavy. And I love it because I love the real estate on it. So anyway, I had not even seen one until it came in. So how about that? The new iPhone is here, and it is getting set up. So, and I hope you're doing great. I hope everything is going great with you. Dale, great to see you. Thank you very much. Mike, I love your picture. Let me jump back, Dale. I love that. That is so great. One of the things Canadians do, Australians do, we do not do here in the States. And that is one of the things that is encouraged is to wear the medals of your ancestors, of your parents or grandparents. And it fosters more communication. I mean, I remember, it was not long before he passed away, and some Army buddies of my dad came to hear him play music. And they were telling me some of the things that he had done in the war, in the Korean War, I had no idea about. I mean, we had never had a discussion about it. And I think maybe if the kind of thing that you do in Canada or that you do in Australia, if we did that here in the States, there'd be more conversations between parents and their kids about what they did in the service of their country, more than there is now. So I love what you guys are doing. I think that's really terrific. And Mike, it was great to see you today. Mike is one of the folks involved in our Distinction Summit intensive group, and we had a great 90-minute conversation with his team today. So that was really terrific. Hope your team enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. Mike, they're a great bunch of folks you got there. So great to have everybody here. We got an important topic today. And the topic is one that I've been thinking about a lot over the last couple of weeks. As you might imagine, when you take some time off, you got some time to reflect. And that is about fulfillment. Fulfillment is really important. It's one of those things that we recognize. I mean, who doesn't want to have fulfillment in their life? But it's also something that we don't really think about. What does it take to get there? We just hope we make it, right? We just hope we get somewhere in our lives where we'll feel fulfilled. So I was reading a book called Back to Human by Dan Schwabel. And I've kind of adapted some of the things that Dan talks about in the book, because in the best life possible, we find both personal and professional fulfillment, right? I mean, we want to be fulfilled personally, and we want to find fulfillment professionally. Now, look, if you got to choose between the two, I think you choose the personal fulfillment, right? That should be the spot. But I find it very interesting that it's some of the very same aspects that take you from personal fulfillment and professional fulfillment. In other words, it's the same aspects that you could use to become personally fulfilled and professionally fulfilled. And if we understand those aspects, then we're going to understand what does it take to get there. So, according to the book, and like I say, this isn't exactly what the book says. I've kind of adapted it because we're going both personal and professional here, and some of the things that I think. But there's 5 aspects to fulfillment, and we're going to cover those 5 aspects. Hey, Bruce, great to see you. Yes, it is good to be back. So thank you. So where do you begin? And I think it begins with values. My pal Larry Wingett and I are doing a program a little bit later on today, along with Joe Calloway and Mark Sanborn and Suzanne Evans. And I'm always inspired when Larry talks about core values, because that's the real foundation of everything that Larry talks about, is core values. And values are critical. But I put here too, values that are reflected in your actions. We know a lot of folks that will talk about the value of respecting others, and then they don't care about things that will keep other people safe in the pandemic. Well, if your value is respecting others, then you have to respect that, right? It seems to me so that your values need to be reflected in your actions. So values reflected in your actions are absolutely critical. So I'm going to suggest to you that personal and professional fulfillment begins with self-examination and taking a look at what your values are. Now, I'm not here to try to tell you what your values should be, right? I mean, that's very personal for each of us, but I think it's critical that we go through this process, because a lot of us, I know a lot of us, there was a period of time in my life that I was told, and they were right, that I was kind of sleepwalking through life. And it was. You just kind of live day to day, and you just kind of do what it takes day to day, and you don't really define anything about it. You just exist. And that is not where any of us need to be. So it begins with value identification. And also, if you find that hard, then take a look at your daily actions and see if they're what you believe, or do you need to adjust that? But we have to be congruent, and that's part of, for those of you that participated in the 14-day program, the personal distinction program that many of you downloaded and went through the audio, the 14-day program we did. It's about congruency, right? I mean, there has to be congruency between your values and your actions, because if there's not, then you're never going to be fulfilled, and you're never really, even if you get what you think you want, then you're going to get there and find out it's not what you want, right? So values that are reflected in your actions. Next is a purpose that connects with your decisions. What's your purpose? And are the individual decisions that you're making along the way congruent with the purpose that you have? That's critical as well. It's critical as well to make certain that your purpose connects with your decisions. If my purpose is this, but everything I'm deciding is this, right? I mean, for example, if my purpose is to have great experiences in my life, experiences that I'm going to live the bucket list, right? And I'm not here to say it's a good one or a bad one. Let's just say that's it, right? Okay, so your purpose is to live your bucket list, to have these great experiences in life, but yet you don't go anywhere, and you're sitting on this money and you're never spending anything. I think that's a disconnection. If your purpose is to accumulate money so you're safe in retirement, but you're spending all the time, that's wrong too. There has to be a connection with the decisions that you make with the purpose that you're after. And you got it exactly right, Donovan. Right? Personal begets professional, professional begets personal. There has to be a linkage between that. The same things work both directions. Okay, we said there are 5 aspects to fulfillment. That's the first 2. Here's the third. It is a connection that's demonstrated by your relationships. We all need personal connection to feel fulfilled. Very few hermits are living fulfilled lives, right? If you were Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway from years and years ago, Your purpose might be to stay alive, and your decisions are to stay alive, but you're not going to feel truly fulfilled because you're by yourself. So are there connections in your life, and is the depth of those connections demonstrated by your relationships? I see a lot of businesses that mess this up. They say we care about our customers, and then when you call them, they put you on hold for an hour to talk to anybody. It's just ridiculous what happens many times, in that we say one thing, we do another. We say we want to be so connected, but yet we don't do or invest in anything that really builds the kind of personal relationships that we desire. So you got to have connection to feel fulfilled at work. Do you feel connected to your team? Do you feel connected to the people up and down? Do you feel connected if you're an entrepreneur? Do you feel connected to the people that are working for you? Do you have a connection that is demonstrated by the relationships, not just lip service, but actual connection? Fourth one, openness is displayed by your trust. Openness. And that's one that's in the book, and it's one that kind of surprised me a little bit, right? Yeah. Openness, is that a requirement to be fulfilled? But yet you think about it, and yeah, it really is. Hard to trust people that won't be open with you, right? Have you ever known that kind of person that encouraged you to talk about others or encouraged you to talk about yourself, yet would never tell you anything about themselves, that would never open up about themselves? And it kind of reduces your level of trust that you have in them, because if they're not willing to be open about their situation, why would you trust them to be open about yours? So openness is displayed by trust. And if I want, if there's somebody that I want to know how open they are, it's pretty easy. You can just see how many people trust them. And it's also displayed in the level of trust that they have for others. So openness is the key. And when you put all of that together, there also has to be some kind of accomplishment, right? How do you feel fulfilled if you've never accomplished anything? You might disagree with this, but I think it's part of the reason that there's so much challenge right now with fulfillment, is that we have an entire generation, and I don't mean to sound like a, get off my lawn, old dude kind of thing, but when everybody gets a trophy, it's hard for anybody to feel a sense of true accomplishment. Now, I'm not branding any generation there. I don't mean it that way, but I mean, at the end of the day, accomplishment means that we have achieved the goals that we have set for ourselves. What you define as accomplishment might be different from what I would define as accomplishment, and that's great, right? Because what I want to achieve and what my goals are might be very, very different than yours. But at the end of the day, we also have to understand that the only way we feel accomplishment is by achieving our goals. Now, it doesn't mean that, for example, if my goal was to be president of the United States, I'd probably be okay being a U.S. senator. I would probably be okay if instead I was appointed Secretary of State, right? So I didn't hit my goal, but there's a sense of achievement in the process that makes me feel accomplished. And it might be the same with you, that you say, I'm going to be the number one salesperson with my organization, and you triple your sales, but you end up being number 2 or 3. Well, did you accomplish your goal? Maybe not, but there was achievement in the goal. And that goal achievement breeds that sense of accomplishment that we all need to be fulfilled. So notice that it's hard to feel fulfilled without having a goal, without creating a goal, and without knowing where we're going. Jason, experience success is one of the 3 pillars that helps people grow and thrive. Yes, absolutely. We need to get you on here, Jason, someday. You and I need to do this together and talk about the 3 pillars and what you want to do. I'd love to do that. I'll send you a note. Let's make that happen. So those are the keys. Let me review the 5. Values that are reflected in your actions. Purpose that's connected with the decisions that you make on a daily basis. Connection that's demonstrated by the depths and the integrity of your relationships, openness in your life that's displayed by the trust that you have in others and that others demonstrate that they trust you. That's how you show that you're open, and accomplishment that's demonstrated by your goal achievement. Again, I'm not saying that you have to attain every goal, but there has to be achievement along the way in the process. When we do these things, we're moving towards the best life possible. We are moving towards personal and professional fulfillment. Hey, just a reminder before we go, if you haven't already, sign up for DistinctionNation.com. It's absolutely free. Free resources there for you that you can create personal and professional distinction. Along the way, don't forget that if you like to listen to Distinction Radio, it's on 24/7 with ideas about how you improve your business, how you grow your personal life, your professional life, how you become more distinctive, how you deliver the ultimate customer experience. All you need to do on your Amazon device is say, Alexa, play Distinction Radio, and you will be listening to Distinction Radio, or just search for it and it'll be there. If you haven't signed up for our Facebook page yet, just search for Daily Distinction on Facebook, and you can sign up for our Facebook page as well. So, hey, great to be back in the saddle, everybody. I look forward to talking to you again with our next program. Same time. I'll be here tomorrow again for Daily Distinction. Look forward to talking to you again. Great to be back. Thanks for joining me.